through at the moment because I think it's so powerful that had I realised before I started reading this book, which I'll get to in a minute, I probably would have done this years ago. And it's not for want of not trying to declutter my life or reading loads of books about it. I just didn't find that the results were long lasting. I didn't feel that I was kind of engaging my mind, my body, and my soul in the process of letting go of items that I owned. And I found it painful actually getting rid of some things because I'm one of those people that holds a lot of sentimental value to things. And sentimental value can be positive and it can be negative. And really, I just wanted to share today this new book that I've been reading, which is The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying by Marie Kondo. I watched a couple of YouTube videos about it online, and I was interested, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to go buy it from Amazon. I read a few more reviews. It had some great reviews about it. Briefly explained what some of it was about, and I thought, well, probably just be another decluttering, how to organise my life kind of book. I didn't think it would be life-changing, as the cover says, and I'm not even a third way through the book. To say I get excited every time I come home from work that I get to actually get rid of things and get rid of them without feeling any kind of guilt, which I think people who collect or hoard, who find throwing or giving away things, essentially letting go of things, quite difficult, which I know I fall into that bracket. This book has given me the belief to feel okay about letting go of things. I grew up in a household where, waste not, want not. You always ate the last bit of food on your plate. You never left your plate empty. There were children starving in Africa. I'm sure many of us grew up with that, and our parents grew up with those kind of sayings. I also, attach a lot of sentimental value to lots of items that have been given to me. I'm the kind of person that can pick up a t-shirt or pick up a top and tell you every holiday I wore that in and how I was feeling and what the weather was like and what we did. And maybe that's being a creative person, that I associate memories with smell and touch and colour, as I'm sure we all do, but I think it's particularly poignant and strong for me. And so when everything you own, every single thing you own has some kind of meaning to you in your head, imagine what it's like trying to get rid of things, let go of things. It's incredibly hard, and I've struggled so much with that for like the last 10 years of my life, when it really started to bother me. I guess it was when I moved out of my parents' home when they separated. They're now divorced. It was a very both emotionally difficult time. I had to be really strong and do a lot of the packing up of the house. And whilst I found it easy to get rid of stuff that wasn't mine, we don't need that. We've got 2 of those. We don't need to bring one of those to the next house. We're not going to have room. I found it really difficult to find the time to go through my own things. So what happened is, essentially, 90% of my belongings ended up being packed up in boxes and bags and put in a storage unit for 6 years. And I didn't deal with that storage unit until over a year ago. It'd literally been sitting there. I couldn't tell you what was in there. And it was really, really hard. And I'm glad to say I took my mother with me, and I said to her, we have to be ruthless here. I have to get rid of things. But I found it really emotional and quite painful because it was obviously connected to quite a sad time in my life with my parents separating. But if I'd had this book, I would have known that it was okay to let go of things. And actually, bizarrely, as it might sound, I've found myself in the last load of clothes I've been going through saying thank you to the clothes, which just sounds bonkers, but actually allowing myself to say, you know what, I bought you and you came on this holiday, or you came with me when I went backpacking, and that's who I was then, and you served your purpose, and I shouldn't feel guilty about letting you go. Now, I give all my good clothes to charity. Some I sell, and then I buy other things with them, like on eBay. But to be able to literally, and at quite a speed, go through items and literally be like, even in my head, and I'm finding myself saying it, no, we're done now. You were great. I mean, it sounds like breaking up, you know, like breaking up a relationship. I'm finding myself going like, oh God, what a great holiday we had. Like, you were amazing and I looked great in that. And, you know, we were dancing at the full moon party together in Thailand, or you came with me backpacking in Australia, or wow, you know, we were teaching in Ethiopia, and all these journeys I've had and all these clothes that have had this significance along with other items, but I haven't got to those yet. I'm still on the clothes journey bit of the book. And to be able to say like, you were great. I loved this top. Like, you were awesome. I wore you all the time. But you know what? That was great then. I don't need you now. I'm a different person now. I'm going to put you in the bag and I'm going to give you to someone else, or I'm actually going to throw you away because you're not good enough to, you know, kind of got a bit tatty now or whatnot. To find that process so easy, and to feel like every time I tie a knot in the top of a black bin bag liner that's full to the brim of clothes, and to feel a sense of relief is such a strange emotion for me, because prior to now, when I've known I had to sort through my clothes, don't get me wrong, I've never not got rid of anything. I always did the spring clean, the annual clean, you know, put your summer clothes away, which when you read this, she says is, you know, you should never do. Seasonal clothes, there aren't seasonal and off-season or unseasonal. Like, you need to keep everything that you wear in your wardrobe, which is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but we'll see how we get there. But you know, I would basically go through all my winter clothes as I was packing them away for summer and be like, yeah, that's tatty, that's, you know. So I had a really practical mind on my head, but I was still putting away maybe 60% of clothes I hadn't even worn that that winter, that I was prepared to store away for the next winter, which makes no sense. And then every time I would open up that suitcase, so for the next winter, I just feel this kind of sense of dread of, God, all these clothes are lovely, but I don't want to wear any of them, and why don't I want to wear any of them? And Marie Kondo's sort of whole philosophy, if I'm to paraphrase here, or my understanding of it, is that the items that surround you, the belongings that you have, the environment in which you live, you breathe, you sleep, you dream, you socialise, should spark joy, which I must admit, to begin with, I thought, yeah, well, that really makes sense with, you know, my favourite painting, or this candle that I love that I got, or, you know, like really obvious ornaments. I found it harder to get my head around the concept when it came to clothes, because I'd never thought about clothes as sparking joy or making. I knew they made me feel a certain way, but I would not make the connection between wearing a certain blouse that I always hated the way I looked in it, but it was a good blouse, so it made no sense to throw it away. And maybe even other people said to me, you look nice in that blouse, but I never felt good in it, not just because of what was in the mirror, but it was the way it made me feel, you know. And the whole process of going through your clothes and touching and feeling everything is meaning that you're not just making a decision visually. So you could have a brand new dress you haven't worn, that you've had in your wardrobe for a year. Well, visually, why would you throw it out? You know, it's a very nice dress, you spent money on it. No, you'll put it back in your wardrobe. And, you know, I've been there and done that, but this whole process makes you take everything that you basically belongs to you, and over the course of, I guess, 6 months, I would imagine it's going to take me, though I'm kind of ploughing through it at the moment, to touch every single thing that I own, and to ask myself, how does it make me feel? Does it make me feel happy? Do I want to read this? Do I want to enjoy it? Do I want to look at it every day? when I get up in the morning and I open my wardrobe and I look at these clothes, am I thinking, hell yeah, like this is going to be a good day. I'm going to be putting on clothes I love, that I feel good in, that's going to express who I am. And I think ultimately, that is the key, that whatever you own is an expression or an extension of who you are. And I had loads of clothes that I'd had since I was a child, or that were my mother's, that I thought, well, it's BB, it's vintage clothes. I wasn't even wearing them, and I just thought, I can't throw those away. I remember my mother wearing them, or I remember the way they smelt when she wore them, and that's great. And there's nothing wrong with holding on to some sentimental items, and she definitely doesn't sort of say you should get rid of everything that matters to you. But actually, I felt a sense of guilt every time I looked at those items of clothes that were my mother, because I felt like I should have worn them and I should have enjoyed them. And I felt guilty about letting them go because they were hers, even though she'd given them to me years. Well, I think I'd even said, are you throwing those out? Can I have them? What's been nice is there's been a few items that I knew my sister always loved that I never wore, which I've been able to give to her. Some really beautiful scarves that were gifts that really weren't me, but that were gorgeous, and again I felt guilty about getting rid of. And then you pass those gifts on to everybody. I'm not suggesting you give all your clothes to other people, because it's not about you dumping your stuff on them. But if there's a single item that someone would really love, or you think they would love, then I think it's great when you can then give that to them and kind of let them have some pleasure out of it. And then if it's not for them, they can go and give it to charity or give it to someone else, pass it on. It's not the end of the world. But it's been such a powerful experience, and I got this book over a week ago. Like I said, I'm not even halfway through. I'm so, it's almost addictive. I will admit that. The weight I feel and the relief I feel every time it's not about every time I fill a bag, it's about every time I fill a bag with stuff that I know I won't miss, that I know I won't regret getting rid of. And anything I've been slightly unsure of, I just keep it in a pile that I can see whilst I sort through everything else. And then usually by the end, I look at it again, and almost 9 out of the 10 items will go in the plastic bag, in the bin bag. Often your first instinct is the right one, so that's what I would suggest. But yeah, I wanted to share this experience because I don't feel that a lot of the videos online really kind of give a sense of how life-changing it is. A lot of the people that are on, don't mean to be generalising, but because I follow quite a lot of the people already on YouTube who've done videos on this, they are already people that are really big into organising and decluttering and cleaning. And that's kind of a thing that they've been into for a long time. So, I mean, great that they found this book and solutions to maybe some of their long-term issues they had with, how come I'm getting rid of all this stuff? Well, I'm really organised, and yet, my room gets messy again, or my wardrobe's overflowing, or I think it's brilliant for people like that. But really, I would say this book it's for anyone, but I think if you are feeling like every time you come home, you can't relax in your home, that you feel suffocated by your belongings, and that you feel like, I do, that I almost can't deal with making big decisions with the rest of my life, because I feel like my home doesn't even represent who I really am, or who I want to be. I'm not surrounded by the things that I really enjoy or spark joy. I'm surrounded by some things that spark joy, but I can't even see them through the woods because there's so much crap everywhere. And it's not crap, they're nice things, but it's just, I grew up and this isn't blaming anybody, but I grew up with a mother who was very good at finding deals, still is. She's amazing. We'd buy a lot of stuff in the sale, or we would buy secondhand and we would do it up, that sort of creative side of hers. But I definitely always associated a sense of guilt of spending money on something new. So I would be like, well, why would I spend £100 on a really amazing coat that I will probably wear for 2 or 3 winters that I love, and I love how I feel when I'm in it, and I love the feeling of it, and I love how I look in it and what it says about me. No, I'll buy 2 or 3 winter coats from a cheap store. Nothing wrong with cheap stores, but that I didn't really love. But they were nice, they were really nice, and I'd almost resent every time I put the coats on. But for me it was, but I got 3 coats for £100. Why would I spend £100 on one coat? You could find a coat you love for £30 or £40, but I think what I'm trying to get to the bottom of is, surrounding yourself by things that you love that make you feel good. Like, why would you have anything around you, including people, that don't make you feel anything other than wonderful? And I think when she says, getting your house in order, and, as an expression we say that, meaning sort of getting your house in order before, usually it's getting your house in order before something goes wrong. So people say, or when something has gone wrong. So get your house in order when you know a loved one's going to pass away, and that is to get your paperwork sorted. But I think ultimately in this kind of context, it means, how could you possibly start making big decisions about your life? Say who you allow to be in your life, what you want to do with your life, how you want to spend your time, which is so precious, and your life is so precious, and you should spend it doing the things that you love and with the people that make you feel amazing. How can you even get into the headspace to start thinking about that when, to me, in a way, I'm surrounded by noise and chaos, and that is all this stuff that means nothing, that makes me feel crap about my decisions because I feel they don't represent good decisions that I've made for myself, and this constant emotional guilt and turmoil that comes with it. And so I suppose I just, I wanted to reach out there to anyone who has felt any of the things that I've been feeling. And already I'm beginning to apply it to work. I cleared out my entire desk today. So it has this trickle effect. After I'd read the first chapter, I started thinking about a friendship that I've been really unhappy about for like nearly 2 years. And I thought, you know what, I'm trying to make this friendship work, or I want this friendship to be how it used to be, but it isn't. And I haven't been prepared to accept that. And that doesn't mean losing that friend. It doesn't mean telling that friend that, hey, look, have you noticed our friendship's changed? Because they probably already know that. But it's about saying, actually, I can't make everything happen. All I can do is, think about what I want in my life and send out, I guess, the signals of what I want and how I want to play ball as far as friendship is concerned. And if someone wants to, I guess things either have that natural synergy and they're going to work, or they don't. And I know you're probably thinking this is weird, why is she connecting friendship with organising her home, or, discarding of objects in her home, but we hold on to all kinds of things for the same reasons. We accept and put up with mediocre friendships and mediocre relationships, mediocre jobs or mediocre job circumstances. And it's all about how we feel about ourselves inside, and it's all about self-worth. And feeling a sense of guilt by not wanting to have things around you that don't make you feel happy is a very bizarre kind of reverse psychology you're doing on yourself. And I will no longer feel guilty about not wanting something in my life that doesn't bring me joy. And that includes objects in my house, tops, clothes, artwork, books, CDs, jewellery, plates, mugs, every item you can ever think under the sun in your home. And that also includes friends, work, people. It's a concept you can apply to life. Why have anything in your life that doesn't spark joy and happiness? I'm not saying that shit doesn't happen, because it does, and a lot of things are out of our control. But actually, you have quite a lot of say over many things in your life, and realizing how powerful choice is. How you have the power to say, I do not want this thing in my life anymore. It does not make me feel good. Every time I look at it, I either feel guilty or down or blue or wish it was something that it isn't. And you could apply that to everything from a coat or a jacket to a friend or a job. So I think it's a fantastic book. It's definitely already been life-changing for me. And yeah, I guess I just wanted to share it with you. As far as where I'm at in the book is I have done, I think the last thing I'm doing now is seasonal clothes. So I've just finished doing summer stuff and I'm going to do winter stuff, which I haven't even unpacked, and winter has passed. So, doesn't that say a lot? And then I think the last thing I need to do in the kind of clothes and accessory department is I need to do swimsuits, sort of beach stuff, and I need to do accessories. Yeah, accessories, so jewellery. I did actually do kind of a big clear out 3 months ago, but what's great is now going back to all the stuff that I was like, shall I get rid of it, shall I not? Now it will be so easy and I'll just be like, nah, don't want it, no, don't need it, thanks very much, you were great for that one night, that one night stand pair of earrings, no, not interested anymore, let's pass it on to someone else who's going to enjoy it and get some joy out of it. So I hope you found this kind of spontaneous video helpful. You should definitely check out the book. Once again, it is The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying by Marie Kondo. I'll put a link in the description bar below. And I'll also attach some photos to show you some of the before and after. I haven't done before and after for everything. I think I did it for seasonal clothes and I did it for maybe shoes and boots, but the seasonal clothes one was just a shocker. I thought, I'll just have a look back at the picture I took before, and I was like, oh my god, I've actually got rid of probably more than 2/3 of the stuff. Now I can actually fit all the items in a drawer. I mean, it's kind of crazy, and it feels so good. I just can't tell you how good it feels, and I'm not even thinking about, oh great, I've got all this space in my wardrobe, as I used to when I used to do spring cleans, to fill it with all this other crap. Now I know exactly what I own. I cherish what I have. I know how it all feels, how I feel when I wear it. And there's even some items that I'm pretty certain that within the next month or two, I'll probably be saying goodbye to those as well. And I guess that is how the process will continue after I've finished this book and I've finished the kind of 6-month life-changing process. But do check it out. It's fantastic. And anyway, I hope you found this video helpful and I hope you have a great day wherever you are. Thanks. Bye.